everyone. Welcome back to Hashtag My Hobby Potter Life. I am Tammy Jo Schoppet. This is session number 4, the final session in the series. And what we're going to do this week is pull it all together and see what it looks like in a studio situation. The reason I'm here in my backyard today, though, and not in the studio is we have a lot of chit-chatting going on in my husband's workshop, and it's kind of loud over there. And this is the moment I have to record. So forgive me for not being in the studio for my final week. Week 1, we talked about having a vision. And I'm a visual learner. That's what I learned. I'm a visual learner, but I'm also, if you ever took the Myers-Briggs tests, I'm an ENFP, which means I'm a global thinker and I work in a spontaneous world. Too many worksheets for me could be tedious, so I'm going to use them to the minimum for myself so that I have some information I can go back to in case I run into a challenge or in case I just want to revisit a project. I am going to go ahead and figure out what kind of project I want to do in my studio. I'm going to use the creative brainstorming and my project worksheet. Since I already know what tools I'll need, I am going to probably not need to use this one. But if any of you are pulling together your tool list, this would probably be a time you'd want to figure out what ceramic tools you're going to need to use for the project once you decide what it is. For me, I know I want to work on the pottery wheel, but I also want to do some hand building. So I kind of went down here and I decided on teapots. All right, I went to my inspiration board on my Pinterest account. If you guys want to go there, it's hashtag my inspiration board, Lauren here. In the Hobby Potter Pinterest account, but right now I want to re-explore this spiraling technique I had done a while ago. This is a picture of one of the pots that I had made, and now that I have a little more knowledge about how to get those colors when fired, I'm kind of excited to try that again. But I think I'm going to try that on one of the teapots. I wanted to make a couple or a few while I was out there and just enjoy making the forms and try to be creative with them. The basics I'm getting from Feng Shui's forms, and here is a video that's on YouTube that I saved to my Pinterest account. But this is what I'm going to start with. I'm really generic right now, and I'm just going to go into it and see what I come up with. Okay, I'm all ready to throw on the wheel. I have my Wonder Bat system. I love this. They have different ones out there, but this is just the one that I first bought, and for Christmas they gave me more of these little bats. I love it. Have my tools. I actually think I got these from Amazon. This one I know for sure I got from Amazon because I broke my Dolan tool, had another one, broke that just because I use it for things I shouldn't. It doesn't break because it's weak. It breaks because I use it to pry something, and just so you know, I love my Dolan, but I needed one fast, so I ordered this from Amazon. This pin tool, metal pin tool, works better than the wooden handled ones because they're usually not as strong. And I love these. I think it's just because they feel good. That sounds weird, but you can use metal or plastic, whichever works, but I just love the wooden ones. And my clay, which I don't know what kind of clay it is because I had it in a Clay Planet bag, and I lifted the bag and it was real heavy. And I thought, gosh, I thought I used all my Clay Planet clay. But now that I think of it, I might have put something else to reclaim in that bag. just wanted to show you these up close. Okay, put 4 feet on the bottom. Okay, I need to make a base for the bottom of this piece that I threw. I'm going to trim that out a little bit and make it so it came out a little thicker than I thought. Yeah, it's a little too thick up to about there. Next time I'll throw this so it's a little more even. I wasn't sure really what to expect when I was done, so live and learn. This bottom is still too wet. I shouldn't have attached it yet. Okay, this project worksheet is going to be fun, and I'll tell you from the get-go, this is only for reference for me because I want to be able to go back quickly and find what inspired me and the information I used for it. I don't want it to be time-consuming, so I just want to put here real quick a note of what the inspiration was, where I got my resources, and if I wanted to check it out later, I put Pinterest, hashtag my inspiration board, and that's where I have a reference to the spiral glazing and the teapot instruction from Feng Chu. Right here I'm referencing, I did a wheel throwing, and then I altered it the same day, which will tell me exactly what how dry it was when I was working with all the pieces. So when I get to the glazing and the tools I used, see right now I don't need any of that. I could put on here that I used my Play-Doh extruder, I guess. But anyway, I'm saving these for when it gets more finished and you're seeing something being made in process and how to actually use the project worksheet. You can use this for whatever you need. If you like to write out a lot of details, go for it. For me, it'll be a reference on how I made these teapots, and it won't be time consuming and tedious for me to have to maintain. Okay, in week 2 we talked about testing and tracking and safety. The thing that I'm really excited about though is my glaze testing, because I was able to use my Kiln log, my glaze tracking worksheet, and also my testing worksheet. I wanted to try that out and see how it went. I like to get multi-uses out of my glazes. They come to you and they say these are low fire glazes, but I like to take them and jack them all the way up to a high fire and see what I get. Whether they work or they don't work. A lot of times I'm expecting burnout, but let me share with you the worksheets on how I use them and how they actually will help me in the future. Okay, I had an opportunity to try out my new kiln log, and it worked out really well. The only thing I wish I had put on here was a little bit more room for notes. The day that I started the fire was 425. I put the firing number as 42520. So I think when I see it on, like, say, a project sheet, I'll know exactly which date I fired it. So there you go. That's my whole big genius thing I'm going to do for my firing numbers. It was a glaze firing. The duration was 8 hours, 31 minutes. I didn't preheat it. This area right here, I think I want to use it for what cone I set it for, and on the other side what it actually went to. This one was a lower firing. I know I already need elements. I was just kind of testing it out on this as well. But the speed was fast, the hold time was 10 minutes, and I put a star for notes and codes, and then down here at the bottom I wrote a little message. It underfired, needed new elements, no error code this time. I had been getting an error code, and my husband replaced the thermal couple. This really helped me over here, because when I look at cone 4 now I know it went to 2161, that's the column I use, 2161, but I really wanted it to go to the 2237. So it was off by that much. It started to bend the cone 5, but it didn't quite do much of anything. Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about the results that I got. Fascinating. I love so much testing out my glazes, and this is how I like to do it. These are all the low fire glazes, and I brought them to a higher fire. Now, it's not as high as I wanted to go. I wanted to go to cone 5, but my kiln didn't make it. I had a little issue. It only went to cone 4. So this is still a great result. I'm really surprised how the colors turned out. Let's start with this little guy right here. These are Great Lakes glazes. Okay, and these are all purples. I got these for $1 a container, $1 a pint. So I am not complaining. I can get some beautiful purples out of this if I wanted to. This right here was fun. These are the Mako glazes. These ones are opaque. These ones are supposed to be opaque, and these two are supposed to be sheer. Now, this is my favorite one, obviously, but look at all these different purples I have. I didn't realize I had so many purples in my low fire. This one is gray. It's called Soot Gray, and it came out kind of a beautiful green color. I love that. I'm going to use that in the future for sure. These glazes are the LG glazes from Amico. Yes, I got a crack. I don't care. But this is the one that surprised me the most out of all of them. I cannot believe how intense this red still is at a high fire. Usually reds burn out. This blue, it's called Robin's Egg. I'm not sure. I haven't tested it on low fire, but maybe I did. I gotta find that chip. But it looks like a baby blue. These two together, I love them because they're my Dr. Seuss colors. I love Dr. Seuss. If anybody knows me, I love a Dr. Seuss color. But this one is my absolute favorite. It looks like a tiger's eye, and yeah, I really know that I'm going to use this on a lot of different things, because if it were upright, if it were on something that had a vertical drip, I am sure this would turn out even more amazing. This one's a disappointment to me. I got some really good results here that I know I'm going to be using in the future. I'd say give that a shot. If you have low fire glazes, put them in high fire. If you have high fire glazes, put them in low fire to see what colors they turn out like, because you'll be able to use them on decorative items. It will give you a whole nother spectrum of colors that you can try. Here is my glaze tracking sheet. I noted all of these down. I gave them each a number. The clay body is all the same. The firing temperature I put at cone 4, and I added for this last column the firing number, because I want to be able to go back and see what I did by looking at my firing log. Okay, I did use my studio testing worksheet just to see how I could use it for myself in the future, and I think this one page right here is going to be a reusable page. The testing overview is low fire glazes to high fire temperatures. My anticipated results were some of them burning out, some flowing, some of them lighter colors. The glaze tested, it says see glaze log. I'm not going to rewrite all that stuff, but it was Amico, Great Lakes, and Mako glazes. The clay I used was number 38 Amico. I used it on a plate and it was over black underglaze. The results is they all look good on this white clay, no crazing or crawling. And right now I just remembered there was pinholing, but I think it is because the clay was not actually fired to vitrification. So yeah, I have a feeling that's what the pinholes were. So for me, this is going to be great because how I'm going to change this one up for the next time, I'm going to use, I have a lot of different clays. I'm going to try my brown speckled clay next and reference the firing number for this one when it comes up. And that way I'll be able to see how different clays are working with this low fire to high fire temperature. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you're finding this information useful, and yeah, didn't take that much time at all. As you can see, I still have things in motion. I still have things growing and in process, and I wanted to leave it like that. So that's what's going on in my studio right now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this workshop series and you found it informational. Like I said at the beginning, register if you want the worksheets. What I do is in the confirmation email that comes to your email, it's got a list of all the PDFs from week 1. So you got a whole month's worth there that you can put in, create your own binder and do all those things. The last and final worksheet is going to be a really great resource, I think, for everyone. We all watch videos and we all glean information from the videos, but what happens is you've seen so many of them, it gets scattered in all that information that you found, and then you want to go back to it and you don't know how. So hopefully this worksheet will be helpful for you. Register if you haven't already. You'll get it if you have, and no spammy from Tammy. So once this series is over, the only time I will email you something again is when a new workshop comes out, or which I don't know if I'm gonna do another workshop, but when a new series comes out, I'll be doing some fun ones for the rest of this year. I'm so excited. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed giving this to you guys, and hopefully it was something you can use. And with that, I bring this workshop to a close. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something new. Hope you're able to reinvigorate, rejuvenate, and start creating in your own home studios. It's best to be a self-directed potter, which allows you to be creative in your own ways. Learn as much as you can and enjoy your clay. Thanks for watching. See you next time.